So Pokemon has lots of different items in it, and these items really vary between each other by large scales. There are Pokeballs that are fairly rare, like the Master Ball, and there are certain berries that are super rare, but then there are those items that are so hard to find that you could try forever and never receive them. So today I thought we could do a countdown of some items and things that you can receive in Pokemon that are super rare. Also, do remember, some of these items are from older games and can be received easier in the newer versions of Pokemon, but that's not what we're taking a look at today. We're taking a look at these items from the original games where they first came from. So let's get started with number 5. Number 5. And starting off the list, we got ourselves the Relic Ground. It is only found in Gen 5 by diving down into the ruins of the Udella Bay, then solving a lot of different puzzles in order to get it. Though it is a 100% worth thing to go for, as it can be sold to a collector or a billionaire for a whopping 300,000 Poké-dollars. Oh god, that's a lot of money, and seriously, you can buy so many potions with that. Either way, also a little fun fact about this thing. If you actually take a look at the Relic Ground and also at the intro scene to Pokemon Black and White, you can see that Jetsis actually crowns end with a very similar sort of crown that looks just like the Relic Ground. Just a little interesting fact. Let's go to the next one. Number 4. Now coming in next, we're gonna have ourselves the Strange Souvenir, which is a weird little item with a very interesting way to receive it. To get this item, you need to follow around and talk to a guy in different hotels until he eventually decides to give it to you. And so, what does this thing actually do? Is there anything behind the strange item? Well, no, there is nothing. I mean, nothing. Absolutely nothing to this item, but it seems like the item seems to just have been a really interesting hint towards Pokemon Sun and Moon, though, which I kind of find pretty cool if I'm going to be honest, even though it's kind of useless. Just too bad that, you know, just kind of there's no use to it. Either way, the item does also have the ability to be bought in Pokemon Sun and Moon if you currently play through it. You can actually buy the Strange Souvenir inside of the Mega Marts, but then again, this should, you know, take nothing away from the actual item's rarity itself, as I'm counting it from X and Y, because it took so long to actually get it back in those games and not in Sun and Moon, so I'm only counting X and Y here, rarity-wise. Let's go to the next one, though. Number 3. Next up is going to be the Lucky Egg, originally from Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire back in Gen 3. Now, this was only obtainable through getting it from Chansey in the Safari Zone. And not only that, but other than the fact that you had to find an actual Chansey, the actual like chance of getting this thing from a Chansey was super rare. Chansey only had a 1% encounter rate and only had a 5% chance of actually holding the Lucky Egg along with it. It was just insane. And also a small little, like, funny fact is the fact that the Safari Ball just had about 30% catch rate on Chansey, so you really were lucky if you got this. This made the Lucky Egg into probably one of the most just hardest items ever to receive back in Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire. Number 2. Now, coming up next is going to be the Shiny Leaf. Now, this may not per se be an actual item, but I still think it's a rare thing, and it eventually turns into an item if you just listen to what I've got to say. So, the Shiny Leaf is a special item only found in Heart Gold and Soul Silver. The item can only be found by talking to the Pokemon that walks behind your trainer. When it is found, it is only noticeable by going into your Pokemon summary page. We can see that your Pokemon is now got a little shiny leaf stamp on its summary page. In order to get the shiny leaf, you'll have to turn around, talk to your Pokemon, and it will actually pick it up. Now, where your Pokemon will find a leaf is dependent on the Pokemon's nature. An example is if you have a modest nature Pokemon, then the shiny leaf would be found in Route 45, where according to the game's code, the likeness of a shiny leaf would actually be just way higher for the modest nature specifically. But it's also different for each nature of Pokemon in Soul Silver and Heart Gold. So if you have a a adamant nature, you can find another specific route. There's actually a little spreadsheet if you want to check that out for these things. And if you manage to collect 5 of these shiny leaves, you can go back to the starter town and talk to Lyra or Ethan, depending on if you chose boy and girl in the start. And what is pretty cool is that then they will actually make you a leaf crown, and with the leaves that they actually receive, they'll make you this shiny little crown that you'll have on your trainer card, which is pretty neat in my opinion. number 1. And coming number 1, we got ourselves the Lychee Barrier, or Lychee Barrier, however you want to call this. This berry was definitely the best berry back in Ruby and Sapphire. You can use it for the preparations for contests, and it would make them so much easier because it was used to make golden Pokeblocks. But with the good items comes a very big downside as well. The actual ability to get this thing is very unlikely, and the only way to find it is on Route 130 on a mysterious island called Mirage Island. In order for this island to appear, the game had to randomize 2 bytes, and these 2 bytes were generated by the game every single day. If these 2 bytes match the personality value of any Pokemon in your party, you are the lucky winner. Essentially, you would find the island, quote unquote. It'll only appear for the rest of the day unless you remove the Pokemon that has this value from your party that was matched with it. So it's very unlikely to actually find it, and I would recommend that if you get these 2 bytes on any of your Pokemon, it's actually impossible to know which one it is. So I just recommend, you know, don't remove any Pokemon from your party, just keep them all there. And then after the day passes, the island will disappear. The chance of this happening, though, is far less than actually meeting like a shiny Pokemon, something like that. The chances for the island to appear with 1 Pokemon in your party is 1 out of 65,536, which is about 0.00001526%. Jeez, though with a full party, your chances are 1 out of 10,923, which is about 0.00009155%. Jeez, alongside with this being like the only possible way to, you know, do it, and only being able to check this once a day makes this into the most rare item to ever just exist in a Pokemon game so far that we've discovered, I'd say, because who the hell actually discovered this thing? Let's be honest. So either way, what do you think of this list? Have you ever tried getting any of these items back in the good old days? And if so, let me know in the comments below. If you did enjoy the video, do drop a like and go ahead and also comment down below and do subscribe for future videos. But that's going to be it for me. I will catch you the next time, Pokemon trainers. Bye-bye.